Um,
Yes.
once my runs out, I hit yours,
Yes.
and then once yours is almost done, I'll get it.
That works. No, I gotta get haircut, laundry, bathe. Oh, it's down into my apartment so I can get stuff done at home while I'm out.
You probably love waking up a little bit later.
I do, but now that I'm out here, I'm gonna wake up even earlier so I can go to the gym before I come to work. Yeah, let's do it. Yes, sir.
Well, this is not
Wonderful, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You sit next to my homie over here.
Come.
Yes, right away. How are you guys? How are you morning so far?
Good.
How many pairs of glasses do you have?
Like 4.
I noticed, like, where I am spinning. Lala.
Still.
Everyone in here? Let's go. I want to see some videos. You don't got a video, you're getting booted.
Boo, Juan.
Give him boo.
How come you turn it on?
Did Alex just okay? Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm so delayed. Look at that. I can make my hand do like crazy things. That's right. Get in here. That's right. It's Vasari every time. All right. Well, guys, is everyone in? Edgar? Yeah, okay. How do we even know anymore if we're missing anybody? We'll just start with Dom. All right, guys, so got my watch, it's rough. Just like every sales coffee, I figured out the same day that I was running. No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking, guys. No, but I wanted to try to sub out, switch up with another guy for this date, so I could run a different type of appointment. I had a third interview, but they actually had to reschedule themselves, so it worked out perfectly. I'm here for you guys. I'm ready. I want to answer all the questions we have. I want to talk about some sales. I want to drink some coffee. All right. So hope you guys are encouraged to do the same thing. Let me get this mic on. Can you guys hear me okay on the screen in the virtual world?
Yeah, they can all do it.
Did they say yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Who else? I feel like you're missing somebody. I'm gonna go grab a few guys real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was like, I was ready for my set. Now, I guess it probably makes me nervous. Nervous systems.
Good. All right. You guys still hear me okay? All right. All right. So first things first, guys, I got some house cleaning items I want to go over real quick. In kind of like per my upline, they wanted me to touch base on this, but I want you guys to remember that if we have there's a lot of times in this career where it's pretty much every hour of every day there's something that you got to do that you might have not have learned in training. There's something that you have to take care of that you've never been through before yourself, and it's impossible to learn everything about this business all in a 3-week, 2-week training course. So there actually used to be, and still should be, a thing that we used to get signed from the trainees that would say, before I'm released, before I achieve my first milestone of being a benefits rep, I hereby sign off and I understand that it is impossible for me to learn everything I need about this business in training. And I understand that the next 90 days will still be continued training, and I will still be learning and, obviously run into things that I won't know. Guys, the biggest thing with running into things you don't know
Hey Vince, real quick.
is going to is using your upline.
You're breaking up really
Okay.
bad, Vince.
Yeah, we can't really hear you.
Your hand raised.
You're breaking up really bad.
Yeah, we didn't. Sorry, Shay, did you say something? We had the TV turned down.
Yeah, we can't really hear you. You're kind of in and out the whole time.
I think it's the mic. Can you?
Oh, boy. We can't hear a single thing you guys are saying. It just broke up like 10 times.
Look at the chats. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Do we need to use this wireless receiver? This should have a built-in wireless receiver inside of it.
Should be using that microphone still.
Yeah, yeah.
I know somebody who did that who didn't realize because they were walking back and forth and the laptop had the microphone, so they were going in and out of the radius of where the microphone was.
You're working as now. Sounds great. This is gonna drive me nuts. Can you guys hear me? There's too much lagging. That's when my hands are moving slant stuff. Okay, can you hear us today?
That sounds a little better.
Kayla Morissette, I love you. Okay. Are we good? No, your mustache is fantastic. George, I can tell you're still in a bedroom, even though you have a blurred background. I'm on to you. Alejandro, I like your background, it looks great. Look like you're in a state.
Can we hear you better?
Brenda, that's a cool hat. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Are we good now, Shane? Everybody's good? All right, we good? No lag? All right, cool. Peace. Probably should tell the peeps in the office to get off the Wi-Fi. Well, which one are we on? Are we on the Zoom one or the phone one? Okay. Can we still hear? Are we still good here, guys?
Look, where he's explaining to us.
There's two.
You seem to hear on me.
I think that has better signal strength. If it keeps messing up, I'm gonna switch networks. Can we still hear me okay, guys? We still hear me all right? No lag? All right. So I'm just gonna start over. So guys, obviously there's a lot of things in this business that we don't know when we get out of training. There's a lot of stuff that we encounter throughout our post training days, you know, your first 90 days out. It was told to me that if you haven't hit 100 presentations, you haven't even started yet. And you know, Simon used to say to us in his agency, don't ask me why you're not feeling comfortable yet if you haven't hit your 100 presentations yet. So I encourage you guys to actually track where you're at if you're in your first 90 days for the 100 presentation mark, because if we're trying to give 10 presentations a week and there's an average of 4 weeks in a month, that's 40 presentations a month. Over 90 days, you should have 120. So if you find yourself falling short from the 100 presentations and you're 60 days in, we have an issue with setting appointments. We have an issue with getting activity. Now, I know, obviously, sometimes we're not always going to get the answers that we wanted. Our call to contact ratio isn't always going to be what we want it to be. And that's where we've got to start using our hierarchy and asking questions and not just continuing to do the same things that we're doing that are getting us no results over and over again. Definition of insanity, right? If I ever start getting lagged out or cut out, someone just start, you know, Shayla, just start telling us. But you know, somebody wanted me to go over this in here. One of my upline, they wanted me to address this. We have to use our hierarchy. If we don't know something, we don't just go do our own, you know, our Ben Fleshler. Hopefully I don't butcher your last name. We don't just go do the Ben sauce. We don't just make up some Matthew Jan sauce. We don't just make up some Alejandro sauce. You know, we gotta, obviously we have these people who are above us who are GAs, MGAs, RGAs. Believe it or not, they've been where you're at 100,000 more times than you have. And if they were in the field when they came up in the business, which most of us were, it was even harder. The internal objections were even stronger. I mean, you guys got it made. You guys get to hang out in this plush office, in your plush bedroom, and take this shit. Ooh, I'll try not to swear. Take this stuff all from your bedroom. That's amazing. That is amazing. But you have to treat it like you're still at work. You know, if you're there at your bedroom and you're in front of your desk and you just went to the gym, you practiced your script from 9 to 11, you made some calls from 9 to 11, 11 to 1, you took a break, went to the gym, you got to go do something 11 to 1. You can't just hang out around your desk and expect from the entire 1 to 9 period, you're going to be on top and you're going to be there to, you know, to power through with no internal objections. There's just no way. There's just no way. Like if you're not doing something for your mind and body or spirit, either in the morning or from 11 to 1, you're not going to last. You might last from 1 to 9, but you're not going to be in peak performance level, which means peak performance meaning these internal objections. What if that client tells me no? That client was very tough over the phone. He said he didn't want to buy any insurance. He said he's already been seen. He said if it takes over an hour, he's going to cut me off. He said that he doesn't want to talk about insurance. Like all that stuff, when I'm not good on my mind, body, and spirit, it destroys me. I believe it. I let it destroy me. Even just the other weekend, I was riding out to the field. There was like an hour drive and it all started coming into my head. And like, oh, I don't want to go to this point. Like I literally was like ready to like not do a single thing out of nowhere just because of my internal objections. So fast forward to this week, running in the morning, whatever I do for my mind, body, and spirit, whatever you guys do. You know, I was always taught you want to get about 15 minutes of the mind going right out of bed, right in the shower. I throw something on YouTube. The stuff that's in the group me every morning is fire. It might look repetitive. It might look like the same video. It's never going to be the same video. It's different every time. Somebody out there who made that YouTube channel literally finds different motivational speakers and very, very high up individuals and takes their speaking, takes their lessons and puts it into these videos for us every morning. We share them. So I play that stuff while I'm in the shower. I play that stuff before my mind attacks me so that I can attack the day and the day doesn't attack me. I promise you, there's only like 40 to 60,000 thoughts in your brain a day. And whatever they are this morning, whatever they were yesterday, whatever they were the day before, 90% of those is going to be it's going to be the same 90%. You know, exactly those same thoughts again the next day. You know, if your thoughts in the morning were bad, your thoughts for the rest of the day are going to be bad. If your thoughts for yesterday were bad, guess what? Your thoughts this morning are going to be bad. I can go 1 minute from feeling like that I'm doing the biggest disservice to clients ever. I'm haggling people. I might tell myself I don't know, maybe I'm bait and switching people because they're just here for the child safety kit and I'm about to go over insurance. I might tell myself all that stuff when I'm not on point. Then when I get on point and when I run into a lot of families and I apply massive action to silence that uncertainty, I apply massive action. And what do you know? This lady on the phone is like, this is about my life insurance. This must be very important. I'm like, wow, you're like, you took the words right out of my mouth, Mary. Yeah, this is very important, right? So then they start selling you. Then you start getting sold by the client. You're like, man, I just had all these internal objections the last week about my career and my objective here. And you know, what we're doing for these clients possibly not being as valuable as I'm taught it is. And now this client's telling me it's even more valuable. You know, so it's all about how you perceive things. It's all about your thoughts. It's all about what you tell yourself. You got to be your own spin doctor, like Gio was saying. You have to spin yourself every day for the greater good of these clients because they need you. But I'm just saying, guys, side note, if you're virtual and you're stationary all day, if you ain't going to the gym, if you ain't going for a walk, if you ain't going to do something to release your mind, you're setting yourself up for failure for the 1 to 9 period. You are. I go through it every week. I go up and down every week, and I've been here for 3 years. It's crazy. Like yesterday, I felt awful. Today, I feel like I can take the whole world over and flip this whole world upside down with my freaking finger, Stephen. With my freaking finger. So use your hierarchy. When this stuff happens, ask questions. Every time this stuff would happen to me when I was brand new, I don't think Gio really liked it that much, but I would corner the shit out of him. He wasn't going nowhere. I would go find him. It didn't matter where he was. I would call him up. Literally, like you would think I did it too much. He probably was like, this dude's a little bit like too much. Everything I did. Hey, bro, I'm about to go in this house. They have this kind of policy. I can see it right now, but she said this to me on the phone. So I'm kind of thinking she's a little bit crazy. So I'm kind of thinking when I go into this part of the script that she might hit me with this. Is that true or am I just tripping? No, Vince, you're just tripping. Really, if anything, you going in there and her being crazy, if she rescheduled you 3 times already, that means she won something, Vince. I'm like, holy shit, I never thought of that. Yeah, why would she keep rescheduling me if she doesn't want something? She obviously knows what this program's about. She told me she's been seen before, but she's rescheduling me 3 times over, and she's not just blowing me off. That means she wants something that she knows we have. So just remember that, guys. Like, you know, I literally like would get spun around every time. Like I'd be like thinking one way and I would go verify it with Gio and he'd be like, nope, you're being soft. It's actually this. It actually means that. It's actually a good thing. And it would just fix my whole internal thing, man. I would just be like, it was like a big sigh of relief, like a big weight lifted off my shoulders. I'd be like, okay, you're right. Yeah, they do need my help. She does want something. Jeez, what was I thinking? Let's go, you know, load up my pen, put my pen in my pocket, tuck my belt in. It's like a tool belt when you're like, you know, or like if you're a carpenter, if you're a utility worker, or if you're something, you know, where you got to get dressed in an outfit every day, you know what I mean? Like you're a makeup artist, whatever it might be. You got your brushes, you got your pencils, you got everything. I'd have my pen, I'd load that thing up. I had my belt tucked in. I felt like I was ready to go. And I kept my little mini stapler in my pocket because I was stapling a freaking check to a what comes next form today. You know, so use your hierarchy, guys. I encourage you. Don't be shy. There's no such thing as a stupid question unless you've been told the answer 10 times in a row. Then it might start to sound a little bit stupid, but you guys got to use your hierarchy. We have to use your hierarchy. First your essay, then your GA, then your MGA. I know I say Geo. Guess what Geo was when I was an agent? My essay. You guys all have great essays in here. Use them. Use them. Use and abuse them. Telling you. I probably messed up Gio's schedule like 20,000 times when I was brand new. Like he had an interview at 10:30. I would corner him at 10:25 and we'd be talking till like 10:50 because that's how much he cared about me. That's how much he knew. If he didn't silence Vince's mind right now, Vince is about to go blow his whole day apart. Mentally. You know, so I just encourage you guys to use your hierarchy, get your mind right in the morning and control those thoughts because that's the only obstacle in this business. It's the only obstacle. We start to tell ourselves this BS. We start to believe these internal objections and we just start to make them a reality and just accept these things that happen every day, like making all these contacts and getting half of them booked. Hell no. F that. I'm Vince Masseri. I'm Dalton Pritt. I'm Andres. Acers, I don't want to mess it up.
Arce.
Oh man, say it one more time.
Arce.
Arce?
Mhm.
Arce. And it's Andres, but it'll also be Andreas, you said, right?
Yeah.
What do you like better?
Andres.
Andres. Arce.
You can use the R.
Arces. Andres Arces. The Spanish guys in the room are like, geez, that's the most American, it's the whitest thing I ever heard. Andres, I don't even know how to say it. I can't even roll my R's. But you got to have that confidence, guys. Like you can't accept that average stuff, man. I was yelling at my guys last night, like, hey, we got 7 contacts and 3 books. Like, what gives? Well, this guy said this. Well, this guy said that. Okay, well, like, why? Well, since when did we make it a norm to accept that? You know what I mean? Like, if there's a will, there's a way. Everybody can be booked, man. And when Ashley Miza's in the building, and we're all around Ashley Miza, it is completely insane to me that nobody is cornering her. I never had a $40,000 a month producer in Arias Agency's office. I never had that. I had Gio who's done like 35. I had a few people that would stop in and did 40, but like to have someone that's from our agency that does consistently big numbers like that, her has to be trapped by me here till 12 at night. Because I just don't want to settle for what's going on. I see people doing the same calls, getting more books and getting more referrals and getting more results. I don't blame other people. I don't make excuses for myself. I don't accept the average. I don't accept that. I'm like, dude, if they're doing it, there's a way I can do it. I just have to say the right things. This woman is not more talented than me. This man is not more talented than me. She's just saying and doing some different stuff that I've never done before. So I'm going to go corner her. She's going to tell me everything she's doing, and I'm going to go implement it. And what do you know? I'm going to get the results. As long as I attack it with that certainty and with that confidence, not that, like I said, not that internal objection, you know, shy mind, calm, scarce mentality. Guys got to read Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone, man. That book will get you going. That book will get you going. that book would just turn me, oh my gosh, I would be like in the car, like grabbing the steering wheel, like, let's go, like freaking out, like repeating it, rewinding it back several times. I have ADHD. Every time that book would go like another 20 seconds, I'd zone off and think of something. I'd be like, I'd rewind it every time. If I miss it, I'll rewind it again. I'll rewind it again and again, over and over and over. But anyway, guys, use your hierarchy. That's the main message. Get your mind right in the morning. It's very important. And you can slip away from it and not even realize you're getting, further and further away from that peak performance mindset. And it's just such a trap, it's just like a drug addiction. You ever talk to an addict? You guys ever have any addicts? Does anyone have any addicts in their family? They'll freaking jump out a mother effing window to get their fix, man. Like, lock them in the bedroom, deadbolt the doors, screw it shut. Next thing you know, the glass is broken and they're like Spider-Man coming out the back window, stealing my car. Where are you going? Like, I'll be right back. I just gotta go. It's just like no license, no money, no ID, no nothing, no gas. It's gonna just do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. When Simon used to talk to some of these places for inspiring minds and these organizations that are meant to help the troubled youth, he would talk about that a lot. And if there was ever a time he visited like a rehab facility or like a facility, like a halfway house where like a bunch of guys are like trying to get clean and like stay sober, he'd be like, you guys have something special. And they'd be like, what? I've been told I got a problem this whole time. I got something special? Yeah, you got something special. You guys have that what it's like to do whatever it takes to get what you need. You know what I mean? They've been in positions before where they've had absolutely zero resources, zero money, and zero chance of getting their fix. And they find a freaking way to get it done. Whether they have to talk, sell, convince, cheat, lie, jump out windows, corner their GAs and essays, whatever it is, man, the addict will get it done. And there's not thousands of dollars on the line. There's not lifetime renewals on the line. There's not a whole career of self-development and a highly developed version of yourself. There's none of that. There's no opportunity in it at all. They do it for a 30-minute fix. You can convince yourself how bad you really freaking want it sometimes, because when I don't make a sale or when something I'm doing doesn't go well and the system's been telling me if I do this, I'm going to get this and I don't get it, I'm like, Tommy, I did what you said and it didn't work. What happened? I will literally go nuts. I will go bananas. Like, I went out to the field last week and I had a whole like 8-minute video in my GroupMe, like literally just ranting about like how, like, guys, sometimes I forget, but this ain't easy. This shit ain't for the birds, what we're doing here. This is something to be very proud of. This is something that takes a lot of skill. This is something that takes a lot of mental fortitude. Because I told him in the video, the whole way out here, I had all these internal objections, lost the sale, too nice. She wanted to cancel. I went straight customer service mode, convinced her not to cancel. Never really had the drive, had that desperation to take it a step further and flip it around from saving the sale to actually saving the sale and making her husband get some too. Yeah. We'll just, we're going to keep mine. You definitely opened my eyes today, but we're going to have to wait for my husband. It's just not a good time. We're going to have to call you. I'm like, I was like, okay. Like, I've been out of the game for like a month at this point. I'm like, I feel like a rookie again. I'm like, all right, sounds good, John Mary. Like, didn't even roll a contingent, didn't even collect a beneficiary. I'm like, I'll see you guys later. I'm like driving back in the car. I'm like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You didn't even collect a beneficiary. I had every right to collect a beneficiary. I was the final review guy. I was the policy review dude. Like, they believed that this was the last time that someone would be out there because they wanted to cancel. I convinced them not to cancel. In what way, shape, or form would I be like looking like inconspicuous for trying to, roll your beneficiaries? Rolling referrals from no cost, that's different. That takes some value, that takes some selling. But contingent beneficiaries, you don't need a single thing. They don't need to know why. They don't even need to, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just the system says we do this due to the 1.7 billion worth of dollar uninsured, blah, 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 blah. We have to roll your beneficiaries. We have to let them know. A+ ratings. System says, blame it on the company, not myself. And I'm driving home like, dude, you got nowhere to go right now. You got nothing to see. You got no appointments to go to. This was your one appointment today. It was at 6 o'clock. You drove out here for an hour. Now you're driving home for an hour for no reason, with nothing in your pocket, nothing to show, not a single referral. That shit ate away at me for weeks. I get so mad because I'm wasting my time, my family's time, the time away from my girl, the time away from my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, my team, my gas, everything. I started thinking of everything else I could have did during those 2 hours. System says roll beneficiaries. Went out there, 6 o'clock sit, rolled the beneficiaries, no sale on the client that wanted to cancel. But I promise you that I would have made a sale on those beneficiaries I rolled. Oh, my dad's not home. Oh, my dad's not in the area. Well, he works a night shift. Well, that's great. It's 6 o'clock at night. What time's he going? 9? Great. He's 20 minutes away. Tell you what, Joe, I'll see you soon. No emotion. No emotion. We have to be robotic with it. If the system says to do this, we have to say it. We have to hold in our emotions and our internal objections, silence those, and say the words anyway, as we cringe because we know it's a little bit pushy, because we know it's a little bit out of our comfort zone, because we know we've never tried it before. Yeah, do you think, Joe? I heard this before in a sales coffee. I know you're home right now. Is the wife home? Yeah, I can just swing by real quick. I can just come by right now. Oh, that's okay? Oh, wow, that was fucking easy. Okay. All right, y'all, I'll see you soon. Right now I'm even more fired up. Now I go into the sit and I'm like continuing it. I'm like saying all these things I never said before. I'm putting it all out there on the table. And it's just like a constant rolling mindset of doing the things that the system says robotically with no emotion, taking the emotions out of the deal. Biggest tip I could give you guys is taking the emotions out of the deal. Now you're on a streak. Now every day you're sitting with somebody, you're remaining uncomfortable. You're doing the things that you never did. You're learning more and more and more every day. And every day you get stronger and stronger and more confident and more swagger. You just keep doing those things you need to do. But here's where we mess up. We don't book enough one morning because of how we feel. We don't hit the field as hard because of how we feel, our emotions. We're tired, we're this, we're that, we're stressed. Of course we are. That's going to come with this is life. So now we hit a dry spell of 2 or 3 days. Never saw or had to roll a single penny, never had to get all uncomfortable and take emotions out. Now we try to go back and hit it again. And now we're starting from zero again. We're starting from ground zero again. We got to go through that whole process over again. That's why in your first 90 days, there should be no stopping until you hit your 100 presentations. That's when that stuff is burned into you. And even though I'm past my first 100, I still had some trouble getting back in. But that is the point after your first 100 presentations where you can comfortably say, all right, I'm going to take this day off here. I'm going to call my shots there. Andres, you got 2,000 coming to you, man. I committed 2,000. I'm going to hit the 2,000 and I'm going to take off this weekend because I'm going to freaking Lollapalooza. That sound good? Sure thing, Vince. You're going to hit your goal. That's great. If you're in your first 90, I'd be like, I would not recommend it. Post 90, you got it down. It's built into you. You have a foundation like riding a bike. Go ahead. Now you can have the most flexible and free schedule that any career could offer you in this world in terms of income and time. So at first you had a lot of time, not feeling a lot of return, a lot of uphill struggles, a lot of growth. Now it flips. So keep in mind what you're doing it for. When that emotion comes in, when that motivation runs out, got to think of your why. Got to think of your why. My why was my house I grew up in for about 4 or 5 years. My dad insured an entire union health insurance plan on a union coal mine, and instantly started getting like 15 grand in renewals, like instantly 10 grand or something. Wow. Because in health insurance, you don't get a lot, but if you insure 100 and something miners and they're all paying 100 and something dollars, you best believe your renewals are going to be real nice, real quick. Not to take away from this business, hope you all don't think about going and selling health insurance, because in 2008, that shit stopped as quick as it started. We were done. We were out of that house. Nice big house, kiss it bye-bye. So forever, when I was growing up, I thought if I could make enough money to afford $2,400 a month for that big ass mortgage on that $500,000 home. If I could make enough money to get back in there where I lived a dream world, I took it for granted for about 5 years. If I can get back in there and afford that and raise my family in that house, that's my goal. That's my vision. That shit was my background on my phone. I wanted that, man. And now it's gone. Now it's not even a vision anymore. I don't even live in PA. I can't even, it doesn't, that's later. I'm on a whole other path right now. But for that time in the field, when that shit ran out, when that motivation stopped, it's a trap, man. It's a trap. I can turn to that picture and just look at it and just think, man, I don't care what you're telling yourself right now, Vince, but if you don't go do what this system says, you know what's going to happen this week. You can kiss this goodbye. And I had to make that a reality like 10 times in a row. If you're anything like me, you need to get you need to learn the hard way. I'm sure we're all like me, right? We need to learn the freaking hard way in here. Yeah, we need to watch what we wanted to do get us what we didn't want like 20 times before we start to realize this stuff. That's why you can't be stubborn. Like I finally just started to be real with myself. Like, you're doing that shit again. You're doing that shit again where you're halfway out to your appointments and your mind is telling you all kind of whack stuff. Or you're halfway into your calls, your mind's, you're doing it again. Block that stuff out. But it's just like an addiction. It will sound so real. It will sound so important. It will be so realistic what your mind tries to get you to do to take you away from your dreams. But guys, I don't want to take this whole thing up just talking. I know we had about 15 minutes of like trying to figure out this microphone, 10 minutes, another 20 minutes right there. Side story, quick rant for you guys. Had to say what was on my heart. Hope it helps you guys. But I want to go through some questions because that's really what I like about these sales copies is questions. If the people on my MGA team can just hold off, I would like to address the people that are not on my MGA team first. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. Andres.
So I just want to dig in more into it and unpack what you said about like, you start getting these internal objections.
Oh yeah.
And most of the time, I feel like I get defeated then more than I win, right? So how do you flip that switch and, how do you consistently stay on more on winning than letting that internal objection get the best of you?
Did you guys all hear that? Okay. So that's a great question, bro. I'll give you a little bit of an example of like one of my agents the other day, right? He's actually in this room right now. His name starts with an M. His last name starts with an M as well. Now, this gentleman in the morning had no appointments on Saturday morning. He was going to the White Sox game on Sunday because he deserves it. Whole team deserves it. They've been freaking crushing it. I don't show him enough appreciation. I honestly don't. I'm trying to take you and Reich and Matt to the mall later today. I just didn't tell you yet. And I want to buy you guys something. And then we can also recruit a few people because I need some sunglasses and I need some new clothes. I've been wearing this same 3-piece suit for too long. You guys are probably like, this looks exactly like the recordings from training class, So yeah, I need new fits for sure. That's the great thing about this career though. You work so much, you don't even blow your money on anything. Your money stacks up 10 times faster than any other career. Other careers, you got the whole 4 to 9, you're out there buying things with your girl, you're buying alcohol, you're buying new clothes. Here we're like, holy shit, this 10 grand just stacked up in my account. I haven't spent a single dime besides rent. But to your question, Andre, so Marvin woke up Saturday morning, knew he had to make it pop, knew he had to make it happen. And Marvin's like really consistent with working out in the morning. So he's on fire already. He knows what I'm telling him. He's trying to think of a way to make something out of nothing. So he calls for some same days, right? Pretty simple. System says, don't have any appointments on today. It's your last day to make it pop for the week, a win week, call for some same days. Gets the same day, right down the street, Des Plaines, goes there. Spanish family, Hispanic family, didn't know they had a turn. About to write up a $3,000 sale, right? A little bit of closing, a little bit of like, this is such a big decision. There needed to be a few more certainty building things in there, maybe. I'm not even sure. Maybe I couldn't even have closed them. But the thing is Marvin, obviously the right thing to do is, to not beat yourself up, but that's what we're going to do anyway. He came back, he's like, bro, he's walking around, he's like, bro, he's like, dude, right? And I get that, and that's when we get defeated, right? And that's what might take him, he might have 6 more appointments on that day. And this first one at 12 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon is about to ruin him all if he lets it, right? So I told him, I said, bro, and he knows this as well. It's not like he's a rookie or something, but I told him, I said, man, if you can look at it, like you still did your job. Like you have to find the positives within the negatives. Like you have to pull them out of there. And like I said, sell it a little bit. Like I went there, I may have wasted an hour and a half or 2 hours that I could have been booking more and I could have set up my day better. All this stuff starts coming in. You're pissed as hell. But listen, if we think about it, first of all, that shit's in the past. Nothing that's gonna freaking change it at all. No amount of complaining, blaming, nothing. It's gone. There's no reason to even think about it anymore. That's the first. It is in the past. There's nothing you can do about it. Ray Milet says the more energy that you give a problem, or the more energy that you give to a negative outcome or a thought or an issue, the larger it's gonna what? Become. The larger it's going to grow. You give your energy to something, it's going to go, it's going to grow, it's going to happen, it's going to get bigger, right? So you need to spend minimal time on the actual negative problem. You need to ask yourself if it is even an actual issue with your skill set in the first place. Because for Marvin, like I said, I might have lost that close too. I might not even have what it takes. I don't know what it would have took, but at the same time, if you went in there and you convinced this family that what they have is not what they thought it was, you show the family that it's completely wrong, and you have a $3,000 deal lined up for them, and they chose an option but just said they needed some time to think about it. That to me means that you are talented enough to come in a one-stop shop, convince the family that something that they've been paying for their whole life is not for them. It's not the correct thing that they wanted. It's not what they thought it was. And you had them ready to separate from that and go with you for $300 a month for the rest of their life. You have to understand, to give yourself credit. Like that shit's powerful, man. Like you might have lost the sale, but you just got to give yourself credit because you came in there and without pissing them off or making them want to kick you out, or without them even stopping you at the door, or without you even getting beat over the phone when you booked the same day, you got in there, you made it happen. You educated them, you showed them what they needed and what was best for them, and why what they had was not what they wanted and it was not best for them. That's our job at the end of the day. So I just start to tell myself, like, man, that 2-hour gap right there, I could have used the book more. I might have lost all this opportunity by being there and not getting the sale. But at the same time, I thought you guys were frozen for a second. But at the same time, look how, I used to tell myself, Vince, look how close you were to getting $3,000, $1,500 in my pocket. Like I'm worrying about my pay, I'm worrying about my rent, I'm worrying about my issues. Everything we worry about usually has to do with money. And I literally, with one thing I could change about closing, if I just go home and I just listen to this closing workshop with Gio or with me or with Vince, with Josh, if I just listen to this closing workshop and I role play this and I learn what I did wrong, next time I run into that, I'm gonna make $1,500. Like that's what I would tell myself. Like I literally was that close to solving an entire month of bills and issues and anxiety that I have in my head. I was that close. I almost counted as a sale. I'm like, dude, you sold them. That was a sale. Like I sold them. It worked. What I'm doing is right. There's people in this agency that wouldn't even have made it past term and hold. You know, like I give myself a lot of credit. I try to find ways, like I try to find things that I did that I know other people couldn't have. And I try to tell myself like, dude, that was a sale. You were that close from $1,500 in one sit in 2 hours. Tomorrow I have 8 on. I have 8 more chances to do that over again. Do you think I'm going to fail if I'm this on fire right now? Hell no. You know what I mean? So I would silence everything with massive action. Okay, I messed that up. I only got 2 on tomorrow, not 8. Jesus. Okay. The rest of the day, I'm going to door knock or I'm going to call. I'm going to put 8 on tomorrow, 10 on tomorrow. The system says I'm going to be able to present to 3 or 4. And then when I get home from calling, I'm just going to practice closing all night. If I practice closing and I know how to close somebody that has term, I know how to beat. I want to think about it. And I also booked up my schedule. I'm guaranteed to get that opportunity 3 more times, 4 more times tomorrow. And that is enough for me to calm the hell down. Like that is enough for me to be like, all right, you might have lost there, but you took that loss and you turned it into 3 more opportunities, 4 more opportunities tomorrow. So like, again, like I said at the beginning of the sales copy, silencing the uncertainty with massive action and just piling the freaking variables in your favor. If I know that if I put 6 on, I'm going to see 1 or 2, I'm going to put 10 on. Like if I know I'm going to, like if the system says to put this many on and I go above that, I put more on, like that to me would calm me down. I'd be like, hey, all I know is like, I got to get some rest and I got like 12 people on tomorrow. And I know what to say now. I talked to my manager for an hour. I went through and I role played that close with him. He told me what I could have said. I'll never get beat on that again. And I know I got a lot of chances to do it again tomorrow. It's like it's like ensuring your success, like Gio always says. Like I just ensured my success. I learned what I did wrong. I have it ready. I repeated it. I'm repeating it on the way to my sit. I'm role playing it in my head on the way to my sit over and over again. And I got 12 appointments on. I'm ensuring my success. I'm not even worried about that 1 appointment I missed anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it would silence a lot of my like defeated thoughts because I was like able to just by the system, you know, get so many appointments on, just get, I don't know how I'm trying to say this, guys, but like, I'm just able to guarantee more opportunity. You know, so I just, you know, you got to spend that energy not on the problem. You need to sit there, diagnose what it was. It was closing. It was uncertainty. Great. Now I'm going to put all my freaking energy on the solution. You're a stud. You almost had that. That was practically a sale. I would have had $1,500. All you got to do is just get another same day on. That was one same day for a 10-minute phone call, one time in the entire week. If I had that opportunity from one 10-minute phone call and one same day book, holy shit, I can't wait to book another 12 same day. I can't wait to book another 8 appointments. I can't wait to do that all over. Like, you got to understand, you got to put, like, you got to spin sell it, man. You know, that big opportunity literally came from a quick phone call, a same day, and a 2-hour sit. All that right there that I'm about to lose my whole mind over came from that much time. So if I put all my energy on the solution now, in comparison with what I did wrong, the problem will begin to diminish. The negative, the defeated thoughts will begin to dissolve. And the opposite will begin to grow larger. My confidence, my appointments booked, my solutions that I've laid out. So you have to think forward. You have to fail forward. This happened, but what am I going to do to fix it? That happened, but what am I going to do to guarantee I get more? I got 1 presentation today. That's because I had 3 on. My fault. Extreme ownership. Man, I had 2 presentations. They both were no sales. They were 2 hours long each. I was sitting here all night with this family. Oh man, I'm driving home. I'm driving there. I'm in the field, whatever. You're in the virtual. I would start thinking to myself, well, at least I wasn't in the field. These people live in Springfield. So if I would have tried to see them like a year ago, I would have had to drive 4 hours out there. Imagine how pissed off I would have been then if I missed the sale. You just have to find ways to spin sell it, man. You just have to find ways to spin sell it. I was out there all night driving. My trainees were out there in the field, or they were out there in the office. You know, I'm just extremely grateful that I'm, you know, able to do this from my computer. You know, I'm grateful I have these leads. I'm grateful this. You know, you just gotta understand, like, you just have to be able to really just take a step back and look at all the positives instead of the negatives, and that's gonna help you. That's gonna help you get through the defeated thoughts. Yes.
Yeah, what do you say when what do you mean when you're referring to spin selling?
Spin sell means like. For example, I've signed up a gentleman yesterday, we hired him on, the non-resident Illinois license is $380 now. He's from Tennessee, it's $380, right? He's already licensed in Tennessee, so he doesn't have to do his pre-licensing course again. How much is the pre-licensing course?
$90.
180. 180, right? He's been in sales for a long time. Really good candidate. Just started training yesterday. I tell him, hey man, I know this is gonna be a little bit rough, but this non-resident license literally just got increased to 380 about 4 days ago. And I probably should have spun sell it a little bit better. He spun sell it for me. I didn't spin sell at all. He spun sell it for me. He was like, well, he's like, if you think about it, Vince, I don't got to do the 180 for the pre-licensing course because I'm already licensed. So that saves me about 180 right there. So really this license is just $200 since I don't got to do that. That saves me 180. This isn't 380. This is now 200. And honestly, when you said we make 400 a week in training, I mean, that's what, I mean, my team, yeah, that's what I do for them, right? And if they're working every day, all day, and they're going hard and they're doing what we tell them to do, yeah, I'll give you 400. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Yeah. Oh, so it's $200. I'm gonna make 400 in training. It's gonna pay for itself a few weeks from now. I'm gonna make money on it. If I don't pay for this, I'll never get the $400. So I'm investing this 200 now to get 400 later. That's a positive. That's called a spin sell. You spun that shit around. It went from being negative to, if you change your perspective and look at it a little bit different, it's actually a positive. Thought somebody out there. Yeah. Let's go, Mina. What she said? Picking up your litter. Picking up my litter. Ah. So that's spin selling though, guys. So yeah, more, and guys, you can't do it alone. It's not going to happen just from me being up here. Where do you think I got all this stuff from? Podcast. I mentioned Ed Milet earlier. He taught me all this. The problems, literally, go on there. I've shared it in the group me 1,000 times. I'll share it again after this workshop. Ed Milet Fire. How leaders solve problems, right? How to create a movement and create self-belief. How to take massive action, Grant Cardone, you know what I mean? Like, you listen to that stuff over and over again, you'll be good to go. You won't even need to ask anybody anymore. But yeah, man, Andres, I lose to it all the time, brother. I lose to it all the time. The biggest thing is just every day, just being able to come out of your mindset from a third-party, unbiased perspective and be like, listen, I know I only had 3 presentations today or 2. And this one person talked my ear off. From 4 to 9, I was in 2 presentations. I got 0 sales. I'm working hard all week. I got my rent coming up. All this stuff starts piling on, right? All this stuff after those 2 sales. Really, we just 5 hours of our life just passed, and we're acting like our life's over, right? But all that stuff starts piling in. When I was brand new, I think even before this business, I was really good at naturally just taking myself out of the situation from an unbiased perspective and just being like, okay, you may have been in there for that long. You may have messed up because you weren't good enough with your presentation. You messed up the close. I understand that. But here's the thing. I was told that if I had 4 presentations, five appointments on, I'd only present to 2 people. I was also told that if I present to 3 people, I'm selling what? 1. So first of all, let me check myself. I didn't book enough appointments. I also didn't have my script down enough. And I knew this a week ago. My manager told me I needed to get this down a week ago. I was told how to do this. I was given the resources to do it. And I fell short. And I didn't put enough on. And I didn't have my script down enough. So instead of destroying myself mentally to the point where I want to jump off a bridge, why don't I just focus on doing those things and forget this shit ever happened and throw it out like yesterday's trash? I'm going to go home, I'm going to practice my script, and I'm going to do some crazy shit from now until 9 to make sure that my tomorrow has more than 4 appointments on. So I don't got to go through that ever again. And tomorrow we'll start my 3rd presentation in a row and it's a sale. And just the funniest thing, by the grace of God, you guys just take the emotions out and keep doing what the system says, regardless of how you feel. You're going into your 11 o'clock like, oh man, I tried to stay positive. I had those 2 sales I blew yesterday. I practiced my script. I really don't want to be in this sit right now. I really don't want to present right now. Please just no show me. Please just don't be on the Zoom. Don't even hop on the Zoom, right? I know we've all had those thoughts before. Don't even hop on. Get me out of this. They hop on, you're like, oh boy. You don't even want to be there. You're still all emotional. You still like, if somebody said, hey, Andres, I'll take this appointment for you. You want to give it up? You'd be like, yeah, thank God. Yeah. Right. So you get in there, you start building rapport, you start just undoubtedly just throwing your emotion out there, being an actor, just like you thought, just like you did yesterday, regardless of the circumstances. And all of a sudden they're like the coolest clients ever. They like you a whole lot. Their dad likes the Cleveland Browns. Your dad likes the Cleveland Browns, Steelers, whatever it may be. All these stars are aligning. All these things are lining up. And out of all these grumpy people you just sat with who didn't value your time, who didn't want your sale, who didn't want your product, now all of a sudden these people are like completing your sentences. How do we get this? Wow, this seems great. Hell yeah, here's 20 discount car referrals. This is awesome. Babe, why haven't we seen about this before? And you're just sitting there like, oh. Dude, I literally had no idea this was coming. I literally had no idea this was coming. You get to sell, you come out of that, yeah, overall, congratulate you. Oh, I got the sale, right? Now you're like, I can't wait to get to my next one. I can't wait to put more appointments on. I can't wait for all those referrals. All of a sudden, within a 12-hour span, you went from here to being on the freaking moon. So it's just a constant everyday battle to course correct and just keep throwing yourself into what the system says, because eventually you're going to get the results you want and everything is going to turn and everything is going to change for the better for you. And if you can't do that, if you can't handle that, you're probably in the wrong business. And if you can't handle that here, I'm not sure where you're going to be able to handle it anywhere else in this world either. Because guess what? I got news for you. That shit is in every career. Especially one that wants to give you an opportunity to get 6 figures. Especially those ones. But even worse. I'm talking you are told when to go to the bathroom, when you can get up, when you can take a break. Sean knows. About 15 minutes in the morning, call that our union break. Making across the street to the gas station, trying to get some energy drinks. Because I know that I didn't get enough sleep last night and I missed my breakfast because I slept in. I'm running across with my toll belt on. I'm eating some crappy gas station food. Then we got one more 30-minute break at 12 and that's it. And if you're late to those, you're probably going to get laid off next time the layoffs come around. Here, you guys can walk out of here right now and go do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Like I worked 6 a.m. to get to the job till about 5 when I got home. And when they told me I was going to be working from the morning to the night, but I had that break in the middle, I was like, so for 4 more hours a day, first of all, not waking up at 6 anymore ever again, waking up at 8 from 9. And then I just got to go 4 more hours than I did in this last career I had. And we don't got to do a single ounce of work or have to be tied down to a schedule. You know, we're not breaking our backs. We're not, you know, like some boss we don't like. Like there's a lot of freedom here that I think we take for granted sometimes. We're surrounded by people that are enthusiasts, that are at a high level, that can teach you how to be the best version of yourself that you can be every day. They're encouraging it. They're coaches. They're here for you to become better if you want to. These other places, it's not your say at all. It's not your say what time you have to be there. It's not your say what you got to do, when your break is. I wouldn't have been able to go to Lollapalooza. Lollapalooza was on Thursday. Who the hell can go to Lollapalooza on Thursday? Yeah, hey, I want to go to Lollapalooza. Can I get the day off? Shit ain't happening. It ain't happening, right? But enough about AIO. Any other questions, guys? I'm going to try to run this. He cuts it off every day at 11, doesn't he? Guys, if this gets cut off, I'm posting another link and you guys are getting back in here because I want to answer as many questions as I can right now. I want to pour into you guys as much as I can. Who else has some questions for me right now? You know, a lot of people on virtual do. That's
Vince, I do.
nice.
You can hear me?
Oh, wait. Marissa, wait. We're having difficulties to get. Oh, man. All right. We're just gonna put it on this laptop right here.
Now we're frozen.
Select the speaker. Go up. Okay, Marissa, try to say something now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, man, what is happening? Try to say something now.
Can you hear me?
No.
Check. Here, I can put it in the chat.
Hmm.
She's like radio, but we have that.
I don't know, I can hear you.
Yeah, we. Marissa, do you just want to call me real quick?
Yeah.
You can call me on my cell phone.
Boss man is here.
Sure, you can. What's up, dog? We're having some issues.
You can't hear them?
We can't hear anybody.
I know if you watched Tommy's video that he posted this morning in the group me
That's
link, it
disconnected.
was really
That's
great
American Income.
about your mindset, getting that together. It was a really
Yeah,
great
we can hear
video.
you.
He has 5 kids and he didn't want to buy anything. And I went through the needs and everything, but it was just a bust. And I just felt one of the worst. Basically, we were going through the needs and he was kind of just being like, you can just bury me in the backyard. And I'm like, okay, like, is that really gonna happen? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just try to be real with him. And he just like wasn't having any of it. Like, he was a single dad with 5 kids. He didn't like, he just, I don't know. It was definitely something that I did wrong, obviously. But is it really like a phrase to say to somebody that like just really is not getting it, or?
So it's I always tell people like the first thing they buy is you. And I don't know who wouldn't buy you, but all I'm saying is like, you know, we sometimes are so accustomed to, you know, running the script with control and saying the things that we need to say that the script says. And, you know, sometimes it's just like this one guy, the personality just isn't the right match, you know, and instead of these things turning him on and getting him concerned and like interested in you and like grateful for you coming out here and stuff, like instead it's like, oh, this is a sales bitch. Look at this woman. She thinks she's hot shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the complete opposite starts to happen in their mind. And they're just like, oh, you know, she thinks she's going to teach me something, huh? Like the dude might even be sexist. You know what I mean? Like, that definitely happens, you know, and people have like that ego problem. They can't let you in. They have that ego issue. And a lot of things need to change up at the very beginning to kind of fix that up. You know, you kind of got to start getting down on their level, that crappy level that they're on. Like if you can come down to their level and like relate to them and agree with their horrible opinions that they have and personality traits that they're displaying, that would help a lot. And then also just trying to like, if he starts to blow everything off like that a lot, you know, at the beginning, I'm going to ask him like, hey, you know, has any of my guys or girls ever got these benefits out to you? You know, when's the last time you've been seen? You know, and as I bring up the letter and as I bring up like what we do, if he hasn't been seen before, usually they think it's like really, really valuable. Like they're like, wow, I'm glad I've been seen. Like, I'm so surprised I haven't been before. And then you get to branch off of that. You get to say like, you know, we've been in this area this long. That's why they have us out here. That's our last couple of days. You know, so I'm glad we caught you today. We've been super busy. And the whole thing becomes like, he's like, wow, this is like, I'm glad you caught me too. Like he believes it all makes sense to him. But I just think the slightest thing can throw it off where they're just like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like she's just lying. She's fibbing me. Like, you know, like I don't need this. I'm good on this. Like the last American Income person said the same thing. So sometimes I ask them if they've been seen before, because if they've been seen before a lot, that's gonna explain why they're acting like that, because they're just putting you in the filing cabinet with every other sales rep they've seen. And that's when I'll start to really change everything up. How did they do for you? I'm one of the quality control managers, here to make sure that everything's okay. That's probably why they have me on your list. Well, he said this, he said that, they wanted to do this, they wanted to do that. And you just gotta, oh, okay. Okay. They told you that term was gonna last forever, which like, no one would ever say, you know what I mean? Half the time it's complete BS what they're saying.